Đây là chương trình tài chính của đài Little Saigon TV. Chúng tôi là Tony Nguyễn CPA. Xin kính chào quý vị. Kính thưa quý vị, hôm nay chúng tôi xin được hân hạnh chào đón 3 người khách từ trung tâm ung thư UCI và một cơ quan thiện nguyện gọi là Cure It. Đến đây bàn với chúng ta về cái bệnh cancer. Kính thưa quý vị, đúng như cái nghĩa của nó, bệnh cancer là một cái silent disease killer. Cái tổng số người Việt Nam mà người Á Châu chết vì cancer tại Orange County nó cao còn hơn cả người Mỹ. Nhưng mà chúng ta không nghe nói đến tại vì nó là silent, không ai biết cả. Quý vị có thể nghe nói về COVID-19 nhưng mà bệnh ung thư là bệnh mà chúng ta, người Việt Nam mình chết rất là nhiều. Hôm nay chúng tôi xin mời những người khách này đến đây để bàn với chúng ta về cái research cũng như là khuynh hướng, cái phương diện mà làm sao để mà phổ biến ở trong cộng đồng về cái bệnh này và làm sao để quý vị giúp đỡ được để mà mình sao cho cái bệnh này càng ngày càng giảm sút. Trước hết chúng tôi có người khách là bác sĩ Van Atten from UCI Chao Center and Dr. Sora from UCI Medical Cancer Center and ông Todd Perry là chairman of the board of the Cure It organization. Ba người sẽ đến đi bàn với chúng ta về vấn đề vấn đề ung thư và nhất là chúng tôi sẽ để ý đến cái bệnh ung thư trong cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình. Dr. Van Atten, welcome. Thank you for coming here. First of all, can you tell a little bit about your background with the Chao Center and what you do over there?
Sure. Thank you, Tony. We're thrilled to be here. I am the director of the Chao Family Comprehensive Cancer Center. We're one of only 52 cancer centers in the country that are designated by the National Cancer Institute as being a comprehensive cancer center. So I've been director for a little over 8 years, and in that role I have global responsibility for cancer research across the university, but including the clinical care that we provide at the cancer center, the clinical care and research.
Now, are you working in conjunction with other centers like the Hope Center, or are you like independently research center?
So as an NCI designated cancer center, we have a very special role in the community. We of course provide expert cancer care, but we have a particular role in patients with advanced, complex, or refractory cancers and providing what we call tertiary and quaternary cancer care. And a good example of that is the bone marrow transplant program, which we opened up in 2020, which is the only adult program in Orange County that provides this life-saving treatment for patients close to home.
So most of the work is treatment.
Well, not only.
I mean, I see the work research. So both treatment and research.
So the research is a very important part of our mission. We have a mission to generate new knowledge about cancer, about its causes, prevention, screening, and treatment. And in particular, we do that through clinical trials, which is the only way that we can move the ball forward in treating cancer patients. And it's also the clinical trials that we offer at the Chao Cancer Center are the only ways for people in the community to get access to the very latest cancer treatments and devices before they're approved by the FDA.
Thank you. Well, let me start with you and go to Dr. Sora because you both work together. So, Dr. Sora, can you tell us about your background also?
Sure. Thank you, Tony. So my name is Sora Tanchasiri. I'm a professor at University of California, Irvine in the program in public health. So my kind of day job is to be a professor, to teach, but also to do research. And with our Comprehensive Cancer Center, I'm the Associate Director for Cancer Health Disparities and Community Engagement. And I'm sort of I help to spearhead the community-facing part of our Cancer Center. So when, for instance, community members want to know, well, what is the appropriate amount of time that they should take before they get screened for certain cancers? My office is the one that actually makes sure to push out the most latest information from the federal government. I also collaborate under Dr. Van Atten's leadership with cancer researchers throughout our cancer center, specifically to ensure that what we're finding in the lab or in research is being made available to our communities as soon as possible to benefit as many people of our 3.2 million in this county is possible.
Now, your research and your treatment, do you specialize in any particular field like lung cancer or prostate cancer? I'm asking because I did some research this morning, and in Orange County, the lung cancer among Asian is one of the highest in the nation. Asian cancer rate in Orange County is like 35% for Asians as compared to 25% for the white population. So do you specialize in lung cancer or breast cancer or just overall everything?
So some of our cancer researchers do. I'm what they call a behavioral scientist. So what I look at is there's usually a common way that many cancers are either prevented or detected early. And when I say common way, I don't mean by the specific technique we use, but by the fact that a patient needs to come into the clinic and participate in that kind of screening. So yes, I actually do work in lung prevention, which is usually smoking prevention and cessation, but also in terms of getting access to low-dose CT scans, which is the way that smokers or past smokers are actually recommended to be screened to find lung cancer early. So it's a little different in kind of my population type of research than what perhaps some of our clinical researchers do.
I'm asking the same question with Dr. Van Atten also.
I happen to be a blood cancer specialist, so I treat patients with leukemia, lymphoma, and myeloma, and I'm also one of the transplant physicians in our new program. But we have a large number of specialists at our cancer center. We're very highly specialized. So for instance, although I'm qualified to treat people with breast cancer, I don't. We have other specialists that treat and do the clinical research in those particular cancers.
So what makes because you work at the Chao Center in Orange, the city of Orange, and you work at the UCI at the university in Irvine. So what makes the center in Orange unique and distinguished from other centers?
Well, first of all, Tony, I'd say it's not just Orange. We have outpatient facilities in Yorba Linda, in Costa Mesa, in Irvine, Laguna Hills, and very soon we're going to have facilities on the campus at UCI Irvine at the corner of Jamboree and Campus Drive. What we do differently from community centers is really threefold. We treat, as I mentioned, patients that have complex cancers, rare cancers. We do the clinical research to help move the ball forward in terms of treatments. We also have a mission to educate the next generation of cancer care providers. So it's very likely that many of the oncologists that you may see in the community were actually trained in our cancer center at UCI. And then the last thing we do is we have an obligation to Orange County, which is our catchment area, to alleviate the burdens of cancer on that population. And that's Dr. Chandrasiri's main job.
Now, my note says what it means to be one of only 52 NCI designated center or cancer centers in the country. Can you explain that?
Certainly, it's a very
NCI, 52 NCI.
So the NCI cancer centers are the principal mechanism through which the National Cancer Institute, which is part of the Department of Health and Human Services, projects their cancer research efforts out into the country. So being an NCI cancer center, again, means you have a special mission to do the things that I mentioned: patient care, research, education, and service to your community. We differ from the community in that way, but we want to serve as partners for the community to help keep that cancer care close to home where it belongs.
Thank you. The note says that UCI has an extensive network of cancer center, and you have a plan to open more or to extend that network. So can you tell more about the expansion plan?
Well, I'll take that again, Tony. I mentioned some of the outpatient centers that we have. The newest one is in Laguna Hills, which opened in June last year. It's about a 22,000 square foot facility that has multidisciplinary clinics and chemotherapy and infusion and clinical research. The ones that are on the radar screen is the medical campus at UCI in Irvine. In fall of 2023, a new cancer center building will come online, which will have radiation oncology, imaging, clinics, and infusion, chemotherapy infusion space. And that's going to be followed about a year later by a specialty hospital which will have 144 beds and will include cancer, neuroscience, orthopedics, and GI health as part of its program. So that will fundamentally transform, I think, everything that we do at the Cancer Center by providing a place where we can deliver care to patients from the south part of Orange County that may not have ready access to our current facilities in Orange.
Thank you so much. We have to take a commercial break. We'll be back in a few minutes.